Paris, 1899. A city of grandeur, secrets, and tonight, murder.
Moreau.
A young, unfamiliar voice tinged with the smooth lilt of an Italian accent crackled through the receiver, sharp with urgency.
There's been a murder. A journalist found inside the Hall of Mirrors at the Carnival of Lost Souls. His face, it's twisted into a smile, as if he died laughing.
Detective Moreau frowned. The voice didn't belong to Officer Jean.
Who is this?
Pierre, sir. Officer Pierre Rousseau. John is taking a few weeks off. What a coincidence. My first night on the team, and I get a case like this.
A brief hesitation, then a hint of nervous pride crept into the young officer's voice.
I've heard a lot about you, detective. The way you solve cases, how nothing gets past you. I've always wanted a chance to work with you. I won't let you down.
Moreau exhaled, already reaching for his coat.
On my way.
The Carnival of Lost Souls appears only once a year, shrouded in mystery. A place where shadows dance and illusions deceive. Tonight, it is home to something far darker.
Inside the Hall of Mirrors, it's just as we found him.
The body of journalist Étienne Rousseau lies sprawled across the mirrored floor, his eyes wide, his mouth twisted into a grotesque grin. A single gunshot wound marred his chest. Shards of broken glass glint around him, reflecting his distorted image 100 times over.
Then let's see what they have to say.
The performance theater, grand yet worn, looms beside the Hall of Mirrors. Moreau steps inside, his footsteps echoing. Performers enter. Elara the contortionist and Lenoir the phantom clown. They sit in stiff silence, their expressions unreadable.
I hear the two of you run things here. One, if not all of you, must have some idea on what happened to Étienne Rousseau. And yet, none of you seem eager to talk.
Perhaps because there is nothing to say, detective. Tragedies happen.
A journalist turns up dead at your carnival, and you expect me to believe it's a coincidence?
People disappear all the time.
Moreau presses further for the next 10 minutes, his voice edging with frustration as time passes.
I'm not asking for a story, just a shred of truth.
He says, but neither Lenoir nor Elara budge. Each question feels like he's hitting a wall, their responses circling back to the same vague, unsettling reassurances. Moreau's gaze hardens as he realizes they're not offering any real information. Their words are rehearsed, too careful. They're afraid.
We're done for now. You may leave.
Lenoir briskly exits, his steps echoing down the hallway. Elara starts to follow, but shows a moment of hesitation, her eyes flicking toward Moreau as if caught in a silent struggle. She opens her mouth as if to speak, but stops herself. Her eyes flick to Moreau before shifting her gaze downward. She gently taps her left foot. The gesture is small, almost imperceptible, but Moreau notices. Moreau watches her leave, his mind racing. He had caught the signal. Without drawing attention, he leaves to re-examine Rousseau's body. Moreau gently lifts his left shoe, and inside, carefully folded and hidden, is a crumpled note. A single phrase written in hurried, desperate script.
Lake picnic.
Étienne Rousseau lived alone, his world confined to ink, paper, and curiosity that led him too far. But Moreau could tell, even before stepping inside, someone had been here before him. The scent of dust was unsettled, yet the fireplace was cold, untouched for days. The desk bore scattered pages, some crumpled, others torn. Drawers, though hastily shut, had been rummaged through. A glass of water on the table had a thin layer of dust, untouched. Whoever had come before Moreau had been searching, not living. Moreau moves cautiously through the rooms, but finds nothing of significance. He exits the study into the living room, a cozy room decorated by a collection of paintings by Rousseau himself. Each painting captured the essence of his travels, from the sun-dappled hills of Tuscany to the snow-capped peaks of St. Moritz. Yet, one painting above the coffee table catches his eye, a scene of a couple enjoying a picnic by a tranquil lake, its subtle beauty standing in stark contrast to the rest.
Lake picnic.
Moreau mutters to himself as he recollects Rousseau's crumpled note. Moreau carefully inspects the painting before reaching for the frame. Its edges feel loose, a hiding place. Moreau cautiously lifts the painting. Behind it is a notebook with pages filled with scribbled notes. Moreau skims through it and stops at the last entry.
Baudelaire is alive. The performers are prisoners. And the mirrors hold the truth.
A chill runs down Moreau's spine as the words echo in his mind. Renaud Baudelaire. The name had once been all over the news, the famous founder of Baudelaire's Twilight Circus, burned beyond recognition in a fire so violent it consumed everything in its path. Still, there had been whispers, rumors that the Carnival had been drowning in debt, that Baudelaire had enemies closing in. Some speculated that he hadn't died at all, that the fire had been more than just an accident. But those were just stories, half believed by those who lingered too long in the shadow of the Carnival's faded glory. Now, reading this, could it really be him? Was Baudelaire still alive, hiding in plain sight behind the mirrors and twisted masks of his creation? The mirrors must hold the answers, or perhaps something far darker than anyone had ever imagined. The Hall of Mirrors, a labyrinth of illusions where truth and deception intertwine. Moreau steps inside, his footsteps echoing softly against the floor. Moreau's eyes narrow as he carefully examines each mirror, his fingers brushing lightly against a cold glass. The reflections seem endless, each one a perfect replica of the last, until one catches his eye. A mirror, unlike the others, displayed a slightly distorted reflection. Moreau's instincts sharpen. This is no ordinary mirror. Moreau runs his fingers along its edge, his touch deliberate. Pressing lightly, the mirror shifts, revealing a narrow passageway. Moreau carefully steps in. The passageway twists and turns, leading deeper into the heart of the Carnival. Moreau's pulse quickens. He knows he's close. Then a voice, smooth, calculated, cuts through the silence.
Detective Moreau, I wondered how long it would take you to find me.
Moreau's breath is unsteady as he takes a step back, the weight of realization settling over him like a suffocating fog. It was impossible. And yet, here he stood.
All these years.
Moreau mutters, his voice barely above a whisper.
The rumors, the doubts, they were true, weren't they?
Baudelaire's laughter is low, rasping, like a man who has spent years speaking only in whispers.
Fire is a wonderful thing, Moreau. It destroys, yes, but it also obscures.
His disfigured face twists into something almost resembling a grin.
They found a body in the ashes, didn't they? A poor soul no one would miss. The flames took care of the rest, and the world was so eager to believe I was gone.
He steps closer, his eyes gleaming in the dim light.
But I never left. The carnival will always be mine.
You listen, you watch, you control them all. They're not performers, they're prisoners.
A bit dramatic, don't you think? They would be nothing without me, homeless people lying on the streets begging for scraps of mercy from passers-by day after day. I gave them purpose.
You enslaved them, and when Rousseau uncovered the truth,
He had to be dealt with, just as you will be.
Baudelaire makes a swift lunge at Moreau, a glint of steel in his hand. Pierre steps out from the shadows, his gun raised, as Baudelaire cries out in pain, collapsing as he clutches his foot.
You're not as quick as you think, Baudelaire.
Baudelaire's scream fades into a low, ragged breath as he writhes on the floor, but Moreau barely registers it. His eyes are fixed on Pierre, shock flickering across his face.
Pierre?
Moreau exhales, still catching his breath. Pierre interrupts, lowering his gun slightly but keeping his stance firm.
After what you found at the journalist's home, you really think I was going to let you walk into this alone? Chief often calls me reckless at times, Detective, but I'm not stupid.
Moreau always worked alone. It was how he had always done things, how he preferred it. Trust was a dangerous thing in his line of work. And yet, tonight, he felt something unfamiliar, a flicker of relief. His gaze shifts to Pierre, who keeps his gun trained on Baudelaire without a hint of hesitation. Reliable, sharp, unshaken. Moreau allows himself the smallest smirk.
For someone who's not stupid, you certainly took your time.
Pierre's lips curl into a smile.
Had to make an entrance, didn't I?
Well, that's the last of Baudelaire. The carnival's over.
The performers, once bound to the relentless cycle of spectacle, were now free to step into the world beyond the tent, their spirits unburdened for the first time in years. Moreau also turns to leave, but just as he steps into the night, laughter, faint, drifting from the shadows behind him, the carnival stands in eerie silence, its twisted corridors and warped mirrors reflecting nothing but emptiness. And yet, something lingers. In the stillness, in the air thick with grease paint and decay, in the way the shadows seem just a little too deep. The carnival may be empty, but is its evil truly gone? Or has it simply learned, like all great illusions, how to hide in plain sight? Some tricks never die.